Welcome to Spin Justice with me, Hayley Owens, the podcast where I'll be talking about anything from health and fitness to the injustices of the world and everything in between. I've worked within the criminal justice system for over 20 years and have more recently taken to teaching indoor cycling, otherwise known as spin. Each week I'll be talking to a different guest about a topic that's personal to them, whether it be to raise awareness or just because. Most episodes will contain strong language because of who I am as a person, so if that's not for you, then probably best to swerve. Any opinions expressed by me are my own. Right, welcome, Brendan and Jayden, aka the LumberJaxe boys. That's what I'm going to call you.
Nickname that is, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, you've got to be in it.
It's surprising how many people actually call us the LumberJaxe boys.
That's it. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it used to be like Bummy Boys, and now it's the LumberJaxe boys.
Yeah. So I want to. Obviously, I'm going to come on to how it all started and stuff, but just your local lads, aren't you?
Yes.
So Birmingham boys, like you say, Brummy boys, and you're quite young. You've done, you know, like when I was talking to Matt, so we've been introduced through a school friend of mine who's a friend of yours, Matt Cooper. Shout out Matt Cooper. And he said to me, because I hadn't heard of LumberJaxe at the time, and he was like, mate, because he listens to the podcast, you want to get my mates on? Okay, hook me up. So like, obviously I started following the Instagram, and then it's just gone from there. But I don't know too much of the story. I know the basics, but obviously that's why you're here to tell us. But just give us a quick brief. So you're brothers, and you're from Birmingham, yeah? So what's home life like for you?
That's a very, very good and interesting question. We haven't been asked a question like that before. So effectively, obviously, like, we're brothers. We come from a single parent background from a council house in Quinton. Me and him had 100 quid, and we were always like entrepreneurially driven. We were always trying to do a little bit better. We always strived, like we always wanted to go out and get good jobs, but I think at the same time we knew we wanted to like break the curve a little bit and go down the entrepreneurial route. At the time I was at college and Brendan was a mobile barber, so between us I think we've done every single job on planet Earth. Like, I've been an Amazon driver, you've been a barber, you've worked in insurance, I've then worked for like Border Force, like such crazy jobs throughout the years.
Before Jayden continues, he's the only 23-year-old I know that's done like, you've done I've had three jobs. How many of you had? Like 5, 6?
I think 5 or 6.
You squeezed a lot.
I was an air traffic controller. Well, not necessarily an air traffic controller, but I worked in the tower at an airport in and amongst all of that as well. Yeah. That was weird.
I can't believe you're 23.
I'm getting grey hair thinking about it.
So basically, I'm the oldest. We're 2 of 4 siblings. So I'm the oldest brother and Jayden's the youngest.
And of how many? 4?
Of 4, yeah.
So you're the oldest, you're the youngest, and then are you all boys?
No, so 3 boys and then a girl, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got a brother and a sister in between you two. Yeah. And when you say single parent household, mum, yeah? Mum brought you up,
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean, I don't like saying I'm a single parent, but I've got teenage boys and I'm on my own with them.
Yeah.
Their dad's great and does a lot with them. So it's always hard, isn't it? I'm always like, do I say solo? Do I say single parent? What do I say? But in any case, it's graft anyway, so your mum's done well there. Yeah. So sorry, continue. You've literally like done all the jobs on planet Earth.
Done all I think just to touch on what he was just saying there, and so obviously like, we've grown up having a little bit to do with our dads, less so on your front. But they've never really been involved in our lives, I suppose. So our mums literally, and this is what we've seen, I suppose, from birth, is like our mum who was getting supported by her grandparents as and when they could help, really, just support with like childcare and stuff like that. But she's worked as a healthcare assistant at the Women's Hospital in Birmingham. She now works as a healthcare assistant in a prison, like doing these really demanding, doing these really demanding jobs, coming home and like growing up. I don't think we would ever. And obviously, like, you're always listening to the conversations that your mum's having, but I don't think we ever thought like, oh, she's really struggling. I think it's only when we became like teenagers later in life that we were like, yeah, like she's really trying her hardest and she's really... Yeah. It's hard to, like, because we talk about it a lot everywhere and we've never really went into detail about it. Like, we've literally watched our mum struggle all throughout her life. And then it's when we've become like young adults, I suppose, like late teenagers and young adults that we're like, gosh, all the sacrifices that she made just so... And like, she got 4 kids in a council house. It's like, it ain't easy, you know what I mean?
It's not easy.
I think I probably... Because I'm the oldest and George... How old's our sister? She's...
25, 6, something like that.
Yeah, so she's like 7 years younger than me, I think. So I probably haven't... Well, I know I do. I have a much different sort of outlook and remember a lot
Yeah, you're gonna.
compared to Jaden because I've seen a lot more. And Jaden was probably too young to, like you just said, to sort of know what the situation was. Like our grandparents were really heavily involved in sort of our sort of upbringing. I think that's probably done us a lot of justice as well because we're very old school in the way we think.
Yeah.
No
So,
pun
like-
intended.
No pun intended, like that.
So yeah, like we're very old school in the way we think and stuff like that. And I, that, like, especially as I've got older and I've got my own family now, I think, yeah, my
It's when
granddad's.
you have your own kids as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I look back and I think, God, how did my mum do it? You know, no money, bringing 3 kids up.
Yeah.
My dad's great now. I say he's great now. My mum brought us up. That's how it was. And now I always think this, you just saying that when you started realising late teens, early 20s, I wonder when my boys are going to realise. Because I'm working 3 jobs and bringing them up, running the house by myself. And I, honest to God, am run ragged. And I think, but they still like, there's still loads of lads crashing in my house, teenagers sleeping over, you know, like I woke up yesterday morning, gone down into the living room and there's just bodies everywhere. But I think I'd rather them be under my roof
Yeah.
and making the memories and just putting up with the texting from upstairs at 3 o'clock going, shut up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd rather that than me not know where they are.
Yeah, of course. You know they're safe if they're in your house,
Exactly,
don't you, really?
yeah.
So-
So I just think, when are you going to realise how hard I'm working?
The thing is, they all will. They'll all get
Eventually.
to a point and they'll get, like, it's like now I've got my family, I'm like, my granddad and my nan have put and my mum, like, have put so many things into my brain that so like I say, we are very old school and like I'm very big on like all the family eating together.
Yeah.
Very big on like, you know, I want all the family to get involved, have nice holidays, and like they've put a lot into us that we're now relaying into our children. Because the reality is I just won't have my kids like acting like absolute idiots basically. And like, you know, we go out for food. I won't take an iPad.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing for me. Like, I just don't want to be taking an iPad when I'm going out for food with the kids because I want them to be
Present.
Yeah. Like I remember, like my nan and granddad, they used to take us to the Queen Vic pub down Barn Green, and there was a little football pitch out there, and the train would go past every half hour, and we'd all go down there, have some dinner and stuff, and then they'd have like a football pitch, and we'd go down. And like I've got a lot of fond memories about doing things like that, so I want my kids to have the same.
How old are your kids?
So I got five kids.
Have you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How old?
My oldest Riley's 15. Then I got a daughter who's 13, and then I've got 7, 6, and 3.
God, your ass is busy then, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So I get what you mean though, the iPad thing and do you know what annoys me? When, say if we were out, me and my kids having food or with my mum and dad, whatever, and it's the volume of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, like if you sat chatting and like the table next to you've got like Peppa Pig on really loud, I feel it triggers me. I'm like,
I'm pretty bad for you.
Overstimulates me.
We point it out all the time. And then like I feel like you don't get me wrong, I don't have any kids, so I'm just forming an opinion. I always say this, and like I'm not qualified to say this.
Well, Jaden is, sorry to cut you off again. Jaden's like, he is qualified because he's basically
I'm the cool uncle.
He's the cool uncle, and he like texts my kids out and stuff.
Yeah.
So he knows what having kids is like without actually.
Yeah.
I've had that many. You don't need any.
Exactly that. Yeah. And like I feel like that the child ends up becoming demanding, and like because the parents have already shoved an iPad in the face, it's like, oh, I'll answer any of them. Like, get me a drink, get me this. It's like, yeah, because they just want to shut them up, basically.
Yeah.
It's so, I think it's so wrong.
Do you know when we were kids, so I'm like about 8 years older than you. So my mum and dad used to, I swear to God, right, they used to drive to the pub. I don't know if you remember it. It used to be called, was it the Merritts Brook? It's gone now. It's gone.
I do know that. What
By the Allens Cross Workingmen's Club.
Yeah.
Down the bottom of Lale. There was horses in the fields. They used to drive down there, right? And they'd go in the pub and we would stay in the car and they'd bring us out like a bottle of pop and some crisps. What the hell did we do? We didn't even have, there weren't no phones or anything.
Yeah.
Like, Or if we ever went out for food, I don't ever even really remember going out for food when we were kids. But if we did, what did we do?
Yeah.
Just talk.
Yeah, no, like of course, like I understand that there's obviously some kids that have obviously got ADHD and autism and stuff like that. But I think like as a whole, when it comes to like children as a whole, why do you want to take your kid out for something to eat, your own family member, and have them in the corner not getting involved?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want them to enjoy, like I could go on for days about memories I've got as like with like my grandparents and that. Like, do you remember microchips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I remember microchips? Yeah, I do.
So my nan, like my great nan, because we were a very young family as well. So my great nan, I remember like going around her house and she'd do microchips and she'd tip one box in the other because the one weren't enough.
Yeah.
Put loads of ketchup in the corner and I'd just sit with my nan eating microchips.
Oh yeah.
But like all of these I feel like now people don't take the time to like enjoy being around each other.
They don't.
Like do you remember family nights at the Austin Social Club?
Yeah.
Like they used to have a hog roast every summer.
Yeah.
All the families had land there. Everyone got on. Whereas now it's like everyone's just a little bit like antisocial, I think.
See, a social club is my idea of a perfect night out.
Yeah.
Because it's not late, really, is it? You're home for midnight.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth kind of people in there.
Yeah.
And no airs and graces. Like, if you go uptown now, it's and all the photos are filtered, and it's this and it's that, and it's like open. People go out till really late now.
Yeah.
Like it don't get started, does it, in town till like late? Whereas I love a social club.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
There's nothing better than going to a social club and then remember they used to have that guy and he'd come in and he'd sell like
Fish.
sweets and like crab sticks. You won't remember this, will you?
Do you remember Barry the Fish?
Barry the Fish.
Oh, you wouldn't know. No. So basically, there was this bloke, no joke, right? He said now, round by me, Northfield, he used to go around all the social clubs on a bike.
It must be that guy. He'd just come in, he'd try and sell you a rose for your missus for £1. And then he'd have crab sticks and you could have vinegar on them.
Cockles.
Cockles, yeah. And sweets and that. And
Barry the Fish.
And then you go home, your clothes stunk of fags. Like you'd have to put them straight in the wash because it would literally like smell you. Because it was just like when you left, you realised the whole place, because of the smoking ban weren't a thing then.
Yeah.
So the whole place was just like a massive cloud of smoke. And then you got DJ Dave doing Cha-Cha Slide.
Yeah.
It's a wicked
them
night.
were the days.
Love
Bring
that.
it back, I say.
Yeah,
100%. So like Barry the Fish, honest to God, my brothers listen to this. They're going to know exactly who I'm on about. I'll be really interested on how many local people are listening to this and remember him.
Barry the Fish.
Yeah. But you're saying about family gatherings and eating. My house, right, since I've had my kids, we eat at the table.
Yeah.
And we've always done it. We have breakfast at the table. We have lunch. We have dinner at the table. It's just a thing. And when I had all these teenage lads around my house the other day, they've all gone to the gym, fair enough, the box. So I've picked them all up from the gym. They've all piled in my car. They're starving, aren't they? So I've done like fajitas, chicken and like mince fajitas and like a load of chips, big jug of squash, because the teenagers now are mad for like energy drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm not pleased. Like I actually said to them, you can have a sleepover if there's no cans of Monster or Red Bull knocking about. Yeah. Just drink normal drinks, okay? It's just like a big jug of squash on the table and like fajitas. And I just disappeared into the kitchen. I was cleaning up and I was just listening to them. And they were having such a laugh.
Yeah.
And, I just felt so warm just listening to them, like sitting, eating together. Because I thought, they're going to remember this.
Yeah.
This is where the memories are. I remember my friend Alex used to stay at my house and she used to say to me, I used to love staying at yours because your mum used to bring us a bacon sandwich up in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's a memory, isn't it?
Do you remember the anticipation as well where like you'd want to start around your friend's house but you're both scared to ask and you'd be like, oh, if you ask, she might say yeah. And like, you get really nervous to ask your
Yeah. Oh, my kids aren't nervous.
Yeah. Nah. I don't think kids are nervous nowadays.
They're nervous and it's not just one person stopping over either. It's like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
I had 6 the other day. Honest to God. But anyway, right.
At least you're the cool mum there.
Yeah. That's
we can go to the same person's house.
Yeah. But like I said, I'd rather them be at mine.
Yeah.
And me maybe getting woken up a few times in the night than them not be there.
Yeah.
Don't know, just, one of them. So, food. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about how you got this started, LumberJaxe. Take me back. How did it start?
This is where we look at. We normally know who's answering what question.
So basically, do you want me to go?
You go.
Okay. So basically, we was in COVID. Obviously, COVID was a time for everyone to sort of reflect, look at what they was doing, have new ideas. Probably people, although it was such like a chaotic time, people potentially had more headspace than ever before because they was locked in their house. There's only so many barbecues you can have and so many times you can watch Gordon Ramsay doing 15-minute meals and you can do this and you can do that. So basically, Jaden said to me, I want to start a business. So you were 17 at the time?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, I'm not sure. So we've pitched loads of ideas. And then we got to the point where you was allowed to meet up with one person and go on a walk. So we went for a walk on the richest...
Hamilton Avenue.
Where's that?
It's like Quinton Stroke Harborne, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Just
I
off
know.
Hagley Road West. Like Hagley Road.
So when I was in the police, that was on the patch that we covered because I was at Rose Road. So geographically, we'd cover like Edgbaston, Ladywood, Harborne. So I know where it is. Really nice.
Yeah. So we're walking past down these houses that have got the biggest houses known to man. Lamborghinis on the drive, Bentley's on the drive. You name it, it's there, isn't it? So we went for this walk and we were just walking around the area chatting and was thinking, what can we do? Want to start something? Because Jaden wanted to be a pilot at the time and he still flies small aircraft now. And then basically he was like, what can we do? And I said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Started doing candles, failed. Started doing this, failed. But we always found ourselves coming back to food. So we decided, I said, there was this like cult barbecue scene like forming on Instagram at the time. And I said, why don't we start doing seasonings and stuff? Because our granddad, when we was kids, again, talking about fond memories as kids, like we'd all land around my nan and granddad's house. And when I say all of us, there'd be like my nan, my granddad, us, like we're like a family of 5. My uncle had come round with all his kids. Like there would literally be like 15, 20 people in my nan's back garden. And my granddad, he's still got this brick-built barbecue that he built in the 70s.
No way.
And he'd just be cooking. My nan would be bringing out all the salads and that. We'd all sit around a table. There was always a swing ball in the background, weren't there? Like all the kids playing swing ball and that. And so we sort of always found ourselves coming back to food. So we sort of said that's probably a good shout. Tried to do a sauce first, didn't we? And failed. But then we did a barbecue seasoning. So it was like making this barbecue seasoning. I sort of put a recipe together, went to Jaden. He said, I don't like this about it, don't like that about it.
Because the key thing there was that our granddad used to use these American-style seasonings. But like, the trouble with like American-style seasonings is they're full of preservatives and they're full of sugar and salt. The sugar, whenever you cook over fire, burns. So like we used to go home and attempts to replicate what he did on the barbecue on like a little kettle thing. And like we soon realised that like all these things are full of sugar and it's the sugar that's causing it to burn. So like your chicken's on there for like 5 minutes and it's already basically coming out black.
Granddad was quite clever though because he would like tip beer over the chicken. And stuff like that.
Right.
So we thought, maybe there's like, purely because we were seeing as well, barbecue and outdoor living grow massively during like COVID, because it was like COVID era. So we thought there's definitely an element here where we could bring over like American inspired flavours, but with no preservatives, basically. Basically take all the what out of it.
Yeah.
And then like, because Brendan already had like a barbecue recipe knocking about anyway, so we looked at it and thought, let's go from here, basically.
Yeah. So we was very conscious of like the salt and sugar level, weren't we? And then at the time, we started an Instagram account. Jaden at the time, it was just as you was allowed to go on holiday. He went, where did you go? Tenerife? Lanzarote. So he's in Lanzarote. And we started this Instagram page, put one post up saying, this is coming soon. I started following all the pages. Then they're following us back. And I still remember we hit 500 followers while he was away. And we was like buzzing with
on
it.
the LumberJaxe page?
Yeah. And it had one picture. It had LumberJaxe food. One picture, weren't even of the product. It said coming soon. And we had 500 people on this Instagram account.
Buzzing.
And then we ramped it up. We didn't have a website. When I look back, it would never have, so we didn't have a website. We was asking people to send us money through PayPal and we'd post it out to them, basically, was what we...
The product.
Yeah. So we released the seasoning and said, now available, we haven't got a website. If you want to send us a $5, we'll send, plus postage, we'll send you the product.
Which is how most businesses start, surely.
Yeah,
You've got to start somewhere, haven't
yeah,
you? Do you know what I mean?
for sure. And but we made 100, didn't we? And within was it like a week or something? Like we'd sold these 100 tins, and we was like, oh, okay, we'll make another 100. So we'd made another 100, sold them, kept going to the point that we had £1,000 in the bank, and then by that time the world was opening up, wasn't it? And there was all these shows and events that were starting. And Jaden found a barbecue festival because all of our followers were like barbecue guys that had ventured to their back gardens during COVID. And basically they were like cooking on grills in their back garden. So it was like, that's probably our audience. So Jaden found a festival called Smoke and Fire Festival down in Essex. We still do it to this day.
Love that.
Yeah, but and he was like, Brent, like I found this festival, core audience, but if we book this festival, it's literally every penny we've earned. So we need it to work. And that's when we got a bit nervous, didn't we? And then
you had to invest.
Yeah, so we had to pay for like the pitch fee, like
gazebo.
The gazebo. We had to buy a gazebo, a branded gazebo. We had to like pay the pitch fee, the gazebo, and then there was an offer like if you paid, they do 2 festivals, one at Ascot and one in Colchester at the time. And if you paid to do both, you got a discount.
Right.
So it made sense, like, edge our bets and book 2 and see what happens. And so we took a punt, went down there, having never done a show in our life, set up our gazebo, put our products underneath it, stood under there, started chatting to people. And then it was really strange because like people were coming up going, oh, I've been speaking to you for months through COVID. And we're like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, and we was meeting all these new people. And there was brands that like we'd never seen before that was like coming up and saying hello and stuff. And like we like big brands, weren't they? And then we did the 2-day festival, made like, how much did we make? Like $3,000 or something.
Yeah, it was a lot. At the time, a lot of money, definitely.
And then next thing you know, I'm driving back home with him, having stuffed everything into our car, just about, and we'd made like $3,000.
Which obviously made you money back from what you spent.
Yeah.
Which is
So we made like, I think it worked out, we'd made like 1,500 quid. We'd like doubled our money basically.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then I'll let you tell
Yeah,
the
it
rest.
just went from there. So then obviously, because at that point we probably had about 6 or 7 products in total, and like the Instagram was like, I suppose at the time, like really, really exploding. We started doing that show, which was successful. So we just rinsed and repeated that. So we were doing shows all up and down the country. We then got into like our first like barbecue store. So there was these niche barbecue stores popping up everywhere that were also selling seasonings and sauces alongside it.
Selling grills and stuff.
Yeah, grills. And then like we got into garden centres, farm shops, butchers. I think we was probably in like 20 at the time, doing all these shows. And we were making everything ourselves and like in our mum's kitchen. Brendan was working as a barber. I was working probably as an Amazon driver at that point. And we were making it ourselves, going to the shows of a weekend. And it literally just like kept snowballing. And like every month that went across, we couldn't make the product quick enough and something else would happen. And then we actually had a phrase, which was just make more, because we would make like, we was at the stage, we were making like 100 tins at a time. So a batch for us was like 100 tins. We would make 100 tins again. But of course, like for anyone that obviously like runs a business, especially a product business, all your money's tied up in stock. But then 4 days later, we would have sold it all. And because we were worried to make more, because we didn't think we'd sell it. And then like a week later, we've sold it all and we were in a deficit of stock again. So we used to always look at each other and go, just keep making it.
It turned into chaos really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And like obviously it was just me and Brendan in the business. We had no warehouse. We were trying to do as much as we could Monday to Thursday because we was at a show Friday to Sunday. Yeah. Which really then you need Monday to recover. And like it was like looking back, obviously it was such a good time, and like running the business early on, it was absolutely brilliant. But it was like chaos trying to do everything, keeping on top of like social media, like we was always trying to do new things and like speaking to new brands. But then like we'd never be able to do half of it because we were making products.
And I think there was the fear of because it was going so well. We get all this opportunity come our way, and it was the fear of missing out. So we'd just say yes to everything.
But you know what? I went to... Oh, sorry, Carl. Keep knocking this. I went to see... Carl knows all about Psychic Sue, don't you, Carl? So I've got a clairvoyant that I go and see. And Psychic Sue. And I went to see her last week. And she said to me, just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
Just say everything that comes your way. Don't hesitate. Just say yes. The next day, GB News messaged me and said, will you come on and talk about the Menendez brothers? And I went, no, it's too late. I went, no, it's too late for me. It was like 11:45 at night. And I was like, God, no. And then I thought, Psychic Sue told me to say yes. But they asked me again the next day. And I did say yes, but it never materialised.
Yeah.
But you were so right. You've just got to keep going.
Yeah. And some of the stuff we've done, like, honestly, like, looking back, basically our van was our hotel because we didn't have enough money to start spending on the hotels when we'd drive to Essex, set up the stand and sleep in the back of the van. Getting up at 4 a.m, going to the Birmingham wholesale market, buying 300 mangoes and peeling them for 8 hours a day. Like, some of the stuff we've done has been absolute chaos.
So this is one of my questions. First question, because this is probably going to be a quick answer. The name. How did you come up with the name? Is it a quick answer?
Well,
yeah, it is.
I think everyone thinks we had this like light bulb moment where it's like, yeah, that's it. But like the reality is we wanted like something that was like felt a bit outdoorsy, had like an American feel to it.
We was in Brendan's garden at the time.
Yeah.
Shouting out all different things, and we're thinking like, what American inspired? What's some words? And like, I suppose a lumberjack's Canadian, really, but like the American continent, I suppose. And then we ended up saying, like, we said all sorts of stuff, and then lumberjacks come.
And then if I remember rightly, I said LumberJaxe, and then Jaden, in all his wisdom, went, "Oh yeah, we should do that, but if we put AXE and put axe instead of the traditional spelling, we'll rank higher on Google." So that's why we went for it.
You've got a good business mind, haven't you?
I said this on the Den, like, he's definite, like, I do all the brand, the marketing, all of that. I've never said this to Jaden before, like, to his face, but to be where he is in life at his age and deal with the things he deals with at his age is, like, unheard of. Like, he's definitely the one with the business brain. Like, when we have big business meetings, like, he's, like, more than, like, competent to go in there and hold his own.
I can tell that just from meeting you. Yeah. At 23, I was in the police at 23. I had my first child at 24. But I've got a bit more of a business mindset these days, but talking to you, I can tell that, definite business. But
it only makes sense looking in reverse.
It always does. You can never connect the dots going forward.
I say this all the time. I ain't got a clue. Well, I always have a clue, but like everyone's the same. Like whether you're the highest of the high or the lowest of the low, people are just winging it all the time, and like you can only use your experience, I suppose. And like obviously, experience come at us thick and fast when we started the business very, very early on. And I suppose like being young, I was always exposed to, because like we always watch YouTube videos, and I was obsessed with stuff like that, watching like entrepreneurs, different business owners showing you about the business. So I literally just used that, and then whatever experience we had, which was very minimal. So throughout the years, it only like got better and better. But it's only when you look back at it in reverse, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense, which leads to this, which leads to this. At the time, you're just winging it.
I did an episode with a lady called Kim Pierre quite a long time ago now, and she summed this up perfectly for me, and I've always thought about it since. She always says you can only connect the dots going backwards. You can never connect the dots going forwards, but when you look back, you'll go, oh my God, if I hadn't have done that, then I wouldn't have done that, and I wouldn't have done that. And it's so true. I absolutely love it.
It is true.
So my next question, and this, I don't want you to give away any secrets, but how on earth do you come up with a seasoning or a sauce, and when you said tins, can you just run me, because my brain needs to take this in, as to like, you're in your mum's kitchen, what ingredients have you got, how have you trialled and errored it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so we just go for flavours that we enjoy,
right?
And I think, mate, especially at the start, it was like our thought process was everyone knows what a barbecue seasoning is, everyone enjoys a barbecue flavour. It's something that's going to be familiar to, because we could go and do a flavour that's really out there, but no one's really going to know what it is, and it needs to be relatable that people know it. So we started with a barbecue seasoning. It just seemed like the most, like, don't want to say vanilla flavour to go for, but the most like
made the most sense.
Made the most sense at the time. So then we sort of have a play with like, well, what type of barbecue do we want to do? Because you've got Kansas style barbecue, you've got Memphis barbecue, you've got, sweet barbecue, you've got peppery, but there's 1,000,001 barbecue sort of seasonings that you can make. But for what we enjoyed, it was Kansas style, so it's like sweet, a little bit peppery, garlic. So we just started like making it and like messing with the blends, and then you sort of like cayenne peppers in a barbecue seasoning, which you would think would make it spicy, but there's that little of it, just gives you like a little bit of a hint in the background. So it was really just like a lot. I suppose it's a bit like chemistry, and it like just tweak it, and you'd be surprised if you put 0.5 gram of cayenne and then a full gram of cayenne, how much difference that makes.
Yeah.
And then what would happen is I would normally do the initial concepts, give it to Jade, and he'd tell me what he don't like about it, and then we'd tweak it. And then we'd both be in the kitchen tweaking it, wouldn't we? And when we got to a point where we was happy, we'd then just put a little bag together and just give our nan it, give our mum it. And the kids are ruthless.
Yes.
If they don't like something, it'll be written all over their face, or they'll tell you.
Yeah.
So we would literally just like, I suppose like looking back without even realising it, we was basically doing like crowd checking, weren't we, really? And just getting a mass amount of people to tell us what they thought, so we could come to like a happy medium. So that's what we would do, really.
And when you said you'd make like 100 tins, do you mean a tin?
Yeah, so we'd put the seasoning into a tin. So basically we found, because we want our products to stand out, so our tin's square. Most, and now looking back we know why, but most seasonings that you find are either in a glass jar or a shaker. But there was 1,000,001 brands out there that had them in a shaker. So how are we going to differentiate ourselves on the shelf? So we went for like a square tin.
Yeah.
And so we would literally like decant the seasoning into the tin, seal it, and that's our product basically.
Yeah. So because you've got sauces and stuff out now, and you mentioned about mangoes and peeling mangoes and things like that. So how did that come into it? Like, did you just think, I want to try another ingredient, or I want to try doing this, and then you've had to just trial and error, go and buy different ingredients and try it?
Yeah, so a lot of like research, really, just researching like, or like a lot of trying a lot of other sauces as well, and being like, I like this about that. What's giving, try this sauce. What's giving that the little bit of a zing in the background? It'll probably be something like limes, something zesty. What's making that sweet? Oh, that's got a bit of a twang to it. What's that? Oh, it's French mustard. So like just sort of like becoming like a knowledge, like having a craft of knowledge to know what's making what work. And the more we've gone on, because we've done it so much now, like we can literally like, if we're like, we want a seasoning that's like roughly like this, we'll go, well, we need something fruity for that. We need a bit of spice here. We need this there. Oh, that's going to be way too much salt just by looking at it. So, but in the initial, it's just like, just trying a lot of products, researching different recipes, and then just building your own, basically.
It's fascinating, this is, to me.
The reality is, we've winged, like, everyone, I think, like, now we're where we're at, it's like we had this, like, I think people think we had, like, neither of us have got a business background. Neither of us have got a culinary background. We're literally just two lads that enjoyed running a business, and we enjoy food.
Yeah.
And we have winged it, haven't we? Like,
yeah. I think as well, like when we brought our sauces out, it was we knew what we wanted to bring out, and that's what we did bring out, but it was also taking our shoes out of the business and looking at it as a customer and being like, well, if LumberJaxe now was to release 3 sauces who have put themselves in this like American style brand that's preservative free, what would I expect them to bring out? So we're like, well, because we then brought out a barbecue, mango and a hot sauce. So it's something for everybody. And like we already had some recipes tingling away anyway, because we was always making like sauces in saucepans and stuff for probably the past like 6, 7, 8 years. So we always sort of knew what we wanted to do. But what was interesting for us is like, because we had recipes that we've been tinkering with for so long, we bought something a little bit different. So like we bought like our barbecue sauce. There's not really one out there that's similar to ours. It's a Kansas style barbecue, but people trying to like well, we'll get on to Aldi in a minute, but like, I was going to mention them, but yeah, but like, it's like, our barbecue, people try it and they're like, I haven't had anything like that. And it's like, well, yeah, because we knew what we wanted to bring out to the market and we were tinkering with our recipes for so long. And because we had our seasons at that point for maybe like 2 or 3 years, I think, our knowledge only sort of increased. And like our mango and chili being the same, no one really does a mango and chili like the way that we do. And then our hot sauce, we loved the Louisiana state. So we knew what kind of flavour we wanted to bring over.
And a lot of, with the Louisiana hot sauce, because it's a very loose sauce, because it's like vinegar based, there's lime in there, Scotch bonnet and cayenne. So it is a very loose sauce. So the UK see it and like, oh, it's a bit watery. But if you pop that if you pop that over your fajitas, it gives such a good flavour to it.
Oh, God, you know so much about, of course you do, obviously it's your business, but like, there's a lot to it, isn't there? It's not easy to understand, you know, like from starting off saying sugar burns to now what we're saying, you know, to where you are here at this point. There's a lot more to it, isn't there?
Yeah, and I don't think we'll go into the den in a minute, but we had a massive reflection period from when we went on the den to when it aired. And we had to we looked at everything, and it was only really then that we realised, oh, hold on a minute, like we actually do know a lot, and we actually do know a lot about seasonings and sauces, and we actually do know a lot about business, and we actually do know a lot about all of these things. Like even like, so like our story, like I didn't even realise we had a story.
Of course you have. Everyone's got a story.
But then we went on there, and then all of a sudden, like we have got a story, and like that's been the real big thing, hasn't it? Like we've had to reflect so much on it, and be like, what are people seeing that's our norm?
Yes, but I think we talked about this earlier. Everyone gets imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Don't they? I get it. I work with people now that get it, and you said like we've met lots of people over the years, and everyone's winging it.
Yeah.
So it's not until you reflect, until you can go, Jesus Christ, I'm actually doing all right here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So let's talk about the den then, because at what point did you think we should go on Dragon's Den?
The best story that we tell, I think this is. So I watched Dragon's Den last year, so last February, and that was series 21. And at the end of that series, it said, come on the show, apply. It's bbc.co.uk/whatever it was. And I took one look, and at the time, like that year, we had quite a successful business. So we was probably in about 200 garden centres, farm shops, butchers. We had our 16 different products. Website was doing great. Instagram was doing great. Everything was doing great. Yeah, doing 5 stages that year. That shows all up and down the country. But it was just me and Brendan, and we were constantly falling behind on stock. We'd just moved into a warehouse at that point, and it was still just me and him. So trying to keep on top of stock, plus growing the business rapidly. It's almost as if I didn't realise it at the time. This isn't the reason why I applied to go on the show, but it's almost like we needed a couple of grand in our back pocket to get on top of stock, so we can be at least planning a little bit more forwards, because we'd always be selling out of stock all the time, and garden centres weren't getting their orders for free. Thank you to every single garden centre that bared with us as well during that time period, and they knew we would just start up business. So I took one look and I thought we should definitely go on that 100%. And the application, I took one look at the application, and all I remember thinking was, it's 30 questions long. Questions I've never ever thought of the answer to in my entire life. But I just remember looking at it and going, do you know what? I'm here now. Let me fill it out. And I literally put 1 sentence answers to everything.
Did you?
Yeah. It was so rubbish.
He's actually quite proud of how bad it was.
Yeah.
But you got on there.
Got on there somehow, yeah.
And I didn't even know it. I knew. So we'll get to that, but I didn't even know he was filling this form out.
Right.
Yeah, so I randomly filled it out at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. whenever it finishes on a Wednesday or a Thursday. And I pressed submit, because I remember looking at it thinking, never in a million years are they going to pick up my application out of there. Even if I wrote the best thing I could ever write in my entire life, they're never picking it out. We're too small, we just sell rubs and sauces. They ain't going to really care. So I pressed submit, and I completely forgot I applied. And the business carried on, and it was that would have been in February, so March, April, May. it was the beginning. So I had to wait 4 months. It was roughly the beginning of June that I got a phone call from a random Scottish number, right? Because the way it's all filmed is like it's all agencyed out and like a different production team films it. So it was a production team based in Scotland. And I remember getting this phone call, and I never ever answer numbers I don't recognise.
I was just about to say, did you nearly swerve it?
Yeah. In fact, I did swerve it.
Jaden swerves every number he don't recognise.
Yeah. If I can't Google it, it doesn't come up. And but for some reason, I looked at that and I thought, I feel like I need to answer it. I don't know what it was. Yeah. It was weird, really weird. And I ignored it. 30 minutes later, it rings me again. And I thought, right, definitely got to answer it now. And it was a lovely producer from the BBC saying, "Oh, I've got your application here, and like I've looked at your social media. This looks really interesting. Can you talk more?" Brendan still hasn't got a clue, and like, yeah, it was such a weird day.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, of course. I spoke more about the business, and the producer said, like, "This is really interesting. Let's book a proper Zoom call in. Are you free like in 3 days' time?" Yeah, cool. Let's do that. Put the phone down. I've now rang Brendan, who is at the BBC Good Food Show Summer at the NEC.
Our biggest show of the year.
Working or as a guest?
Yeah.
You were working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I rang Brendan and I basically said, "Are you sat down? No one's died or anything."
Yeah, he went. I still remember it. Like, so I just set up the stand, put all the stuff out, blah, blah, blah. Public are starting to come in. We've got someone helping us on the stand. He's gone, "Brent, can you leave the stand? No one's died, but I need you to sit down." I'm thinking, what? I'm thinking, right, he said no one's died, but who's been hit by a bus? Are my kids all right? What is this going to be? And then he's gone, yeah, just to let you know, we've got to go on Dragon's Den in 3 weeks' time. And I went, what? And he's like, we need to prepare a pitch. We need to do this. We need to do that. We've got a meeting in a couple of days, but we're going on the Den. And obviously, I was like, my head was like, I'm like, I don't even know what to think about that. And then like I was all over the place, like thinking, what's he just said to me? And then we did the show, ended up getting on the call.
But beforehand, when you got that call saying that you were going to go on, how did you was you nervous? 'Cause I feel like I'd be nervous. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. It's like through no fault of their own, you get told very little information.
Right.
And like the bottom line is you don't know what the dragons are going to say. You don't know what it's like when you get there. You don't know what questions they're going to ask. What actually happens, what's the team going to be like, how long should my pitch be? And like, because when you watch Dragon's Den, you only obviously see like 10 minutes of a pitch.
Of course.
So we basically got told, I think it was like about 14 days, less than that, like, can you come to Manchester in this time? And because you're definitely going to be on the show. Because like they loved the mock pitch that we sent and all this other good stuff.
Oh yeah, we had to do a video and send it in, didn't we?
Yeah, do a video. Yeah, so basically I called Brendan and said like, we need to go on this Zoom call. So we went on the Zoom call and we spoke more about the business and we did a mock pitch and they looked at it and said, you definitely need to come on. We've got a spare filming date in like 2 weeks. We're like, of course, we'll definitely go on.
Absolutely meant to be.
Yeah. So we quickly the way I describe it to everybody is, I suppose like 2 weeks before we went on Dragon's Den and like 6 months post it, every single emotion you could ever feel in your entire life, you feel it, all of it in such a short space of time. Like it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
And so like definitely very, very, I think I sat there without sounding arrogant. I sat there and I thought, I knew I'd do something like this.
Yeah.
So I think the way my brain was coping with it was like, oh, well, Jaden, you know, you'd end up somewhere doing something crazy like this at some point. So that masked all of like the what the hell is going on kind of thing and like all the nervousness.
I think touching on what Jaden's have said there, I think people say, oh, you're lucky. And I do believe in a bit of luck, but I believe in 5% luck. And I think you need to be in a position where you create your own luck. Yeah. And when something comes your way, you need to be best prepared to like grab it. So we was very much like, this is our chance of a lifetime and we're going to do every single thing in our power to be prepared to grab that with both hands if we get given the opportunity.
And look, yes, it does come into it because, but it's graft. You've put the work in. You deserve to be there. Do you know what I mean? It's not, oh, you're so lucky. It annoys me a bit when people say like about luck, because I think it's the sleepless nights and the every emotion possible that you're going through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
So when you said every emotion, like anger, upset, sadness, all of it.
Yeah, everything. Jealousy, anger, upset, happiness, envy, like literally every single emotion you could ever feel in your entire life.
In that 3-week period.
Yeah,
100%. Because you're excited because you've got this opportunity.
Of course.
You're nervous because you've now got to put a pitch together, and like Jaden said, you don't know how is it going to go. You sort of, you're envious because you want to get there and just do it. Then you're sad because like you're worrying about all this other stuff, and like, obviously you're brewing this thing and like putting this thing together, and you're stressed out because right? We've done the pitch, we know our number. Like I'm ringing Jaden on the build up in my car, ringing him, going, Jay, what's year 2 net profit is going this. I'm not even speaking to him. I'm putting the phone down. Half hour later, ringing him, what's year 3 turnover? It's this. Putting the phone down. Like so, like preparing for it. It's just a crate. It's like a roller coaster.
Do you have any fallings out
during that period,
or just since you've been working together?
Yeah, 100%.
We're brothers.
We weren't masking. The thing is, with me and Brendan is we are, which is a huge benefit to our business, but we're like polar opposite individuals. Yeah, which is great for the business, but of course comes with its challenges. And I think obviously when we were very, very early on, I mean, Brendan's the older brother that'd probably grab me around my head and do this kind of thing. But then all of a sudden, like we became business partners, family business partners. So, and it was definitely tough for the first 2 or 3 years. And whenever we were differing in an opinion, like it would always turn into an argument. But we very quickly learned, and more so as the business got more serious, I suppose, how to deal with that. And like, and the way we are now is, like as Brendan just described, like Brendan does a lot of the branding, marketing, and all that kind of thing. I do a lot of the numbers. So we just crack on in our own lanes, and we know when we need to either get in the car together or cross over. But for the most part, we're in our own lanes. And it's like, if I need to do something, Brad, jump on that, Jaden, jump on that. So like, it's when if I'm on Brendan's back constantly, watching over and saying, of course, you're not going to want that with your own boss, are you?
No.
And like vice versa. So I think that's what's really important. So although initially our polar opposites was a bit of a challenge, now when the business is going 100 mile an hour, it's such a strength for us. And that's what's really important, because we could do the work. Like it's easy for us to do the work twice is the other thing.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think we 100% trust each other as well. So if there's a meeting or something, and like, I 100% trust Jaden to go there and nail it, and like vice versa. If there's an opportunity that's come that we can do this like piece of marketing with X, and there's a meeting, he'll be like, I don't need to get involved in that, and he'll 100% trust that I'm going to do everything that, because I think we both, especially now, we both trust that we both want the same for the business and the same for us, and like all of the above really. So
of course.
it was tough at the start, because like I had my little brother saying to me, "No, we're not doing that," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, we are. But then like what had happened is like I'd resist against it, go home, sit there with my wife watching some rubbish on Netflix, and go,
"He's got a point there.
He's right,
Yeah.
And then what happens is I'll do that, and he'll go home and think. Then the next morning we'll come and we're the opposite side.
Yeah.
And we're like, no. And then we come to a middle.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That was funny
because
after Dragon's Den we slimmed our range down.
Right.
And I never forget Brendan first come up with it. And I was like, slim our range? Absolutely not. Like we need more SKUs. We need like 100%, no way. And I gave my piece. Brendan gave his, and we were like, the next day I'm like, oh my God, we need to move our range down to like it was 9 products. And Brendan comes in going, we definitely need to not cut the range. It was so funny.
And what answer did you come up with?
We did slim it, yeah. But we spent 3 hours in our unit with no one in there, just stacking tins on a table and talking, and like getting really like into the conversation, and like we're like, yeah, because of this, because of that, and like we must have looked absolutely nuts looking back.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's brainstorming. It's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how was it? And when you're on the den now, how did you feel? And how do you feel? Like, well, we know that you've been invested in, but how, what did you feel like at the time? Did you come up in the lift?
Right, we're gonna. This is some. It's some secrets for you now.
There's no lift.
Don't lie.
The two big things with Dragon's Den is, of course, the lift isn't real, which is an unfortunate. It used to be, because it used to be filmed in an actual warehouse, whereas now it's like a set.
Right.
And you're in there for about anywhere from 2 to 3 hours.
In the lift.
Getting like grilled or interviewed, I suppose.
What, talking to the dragons?
Yeah, and you see about 12 minutes. I very quickly realised, like 2 minutes in, like, this is real. Like, they genuinely want to invest. Yeah, they genuinely want to invest in people's businesses. It just so happens that the BBC film it.
Yeah.
So you're talking for 2 to 3 hours, and we see 12 minutes.
Yeah.
We had 18 minutes, which is unusual, really.
Yeah.
So we turn up on the day. There's a funny story about cauliflower we should probably tell.
Oh, yeah.
Which would be quite funny. But so we turn up on the day.
It's a 2-day process as well.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So we went up the night before, go there, take your products in your stand, how you want your sort of...
your brand to be presented.
For it to be presented, yeah. So you set all that up in a warehouse, like, so there's a warehouse, then there's a door, and then the set's in there. But you do it outside because they don't want you to go into the den and set it all up because you're in there for too long. So you set it up outside. Yeah, we're happy with that. Take some pictures. They show you around to your sort of entrepreneur room, and in there's like snacks and stuff, isn't there? And then they say, right, that's fine. See you tomorrow. Okay, great. So then we've got a whole night in Manchester, knowing we're going to have to do this Dragon's Den thing tomorrow.
You've not pitched anything at this point?
No, we've literally just met our producer, gone in, blah, blah, blah. So we've got a whole night in Manchester now. So it was like, okay, well, we need some ingredients because we're cooking for the dragon so they can try it. So we went and got all these ingredients, but obviously Deborah is vegan. So we needed a cauliflower.
Right.
Do you think we could find a cauliflower in the whole of Manchester?
You're joking.
We went to Sainsbury's, we went to Morrison's, we went to M&S, we went Tesco, we went everywhere, and we could not find a cauliflower in the whole of Manchester. Could we?
What did you do?
So we abandoned the mission, went for a Nando's.
Something I would do.
Yeah, and then went back to the room to literally chill out and grill numbers and do the pitch in the mirror like nutters. And then we had probably like 2 hours sleep all night. Got up at 6 a.m. Went to the local Sainsbury's, banging on the window like we were mad because we could see a cauliflower in it. And he's like, "What are these two on? Like these two absolute nut jobs want a cauliflower at 6 a.m. and they're banging the window." So then we went and bought this cauliflower, and then basically got there, and then they basically tell you to get dressed so they can do a camera check for your outfit to check it's not going to mess with the camera and stuff.
Yeah, and you have to like say the pitch for the first time. So like the producer come up to us and say, "Oh, will you just say your pitch?" Yeah, of course it will. We turn around, and as we turn around, there's like they've dragged anyone they could, cameramen, women, runners. There's like 40 people staring at you. And like
in this warehouse.
Yeah, in this warehouse. And you give the pitch, and like they all just look at you like this. And then like you say their pitch and they all go, and then they crack on with their lives. You don't even know if it's any good or anything like that.
You got one guy at the back writing and looking at you. Another geezer's like looking at your shoes. Another geezer's looking at your face expression.
That must be quite nerve-wracking because... So I'm likening it. I teach spin, indoor cycling.
Yeah.
And when you've got an engaging audience, you spin, like I've done a class this morning with like, there weren't that many there this morning. There's only about 10 people. But, when you've got a full class and everyone's engaging with you, it really affects your energy.
Yeah.
So when you're performing your pitch there to people that are just like staring at you, that would make me really nervous.
Yeah.
And then how did that make you feel? Because I would imagine like you're then thinking, oh God, like...
Yeah, well, I think we looked and asked them like, is that okay? And they were like, yeah, it's great. I think because they're running, the thing is with that studio, like, because they film them, I think they film either like 2 or 3 a day. they're running around. They're there from 7 o'clock in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night. They are genuinely all running around like headless chickens.
Yeah.
And like there's that many fast moving parts for them all. Because like obviously, because we just these two bummies, we're talking to them all and like really getting on with them, and like we're telling us about like their personal lives and stuff. So we've got on with them a bit more than like I think someone else would, which was great for
A couple of
us.
them had grills and that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. And
So
we're talking about barbecue and like 'cause we gave away some products to them and stuff. So you do that and then you get told, right, we're going on, and you get showed around the set for the first ever time. So you see the room just before all the pictures are. You then get put into the lift because they're setting up the cameras and doing all that kind of thing. And then the lift door opens and there's 6 empty chairs staring at you.
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is Dragon's Den.
Yeah, that looks like what I see on the telly.
Yeah, and like you walk in and they're just checking your camera and how you look. A lot of like, because fabric changes a lot depending on what camera they're using and stuff, so they're just double checking all of that. And then we get told like, right, you're going on in 5 minutes.
But he was literally stood in the den for like a minute. We weren't in there long.
We weren't in there long, you're just checking some camera
They
stuff.
basically go, can you stand on that X? Can you stand on that X? If you need to talk to the wall, the camera's there.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then like, but like they didn't tell us that we would be filming sort of immediately after. You're getting shoved from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and it was like, right, you're going on in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then.
So they go, we've had our pre den interview. Then they say, right, 5 minutes. And our chaperone's like, what do you mean 5 minutes? Hold on, they've got a cook. And she's like, what do you mean they've got a cook? They're all ready. On about the dragons. And there's like, no, like they need to cook samples and that. And she's like, well, you need to hurry up. So literally when you see us walk into that lift 2 minutes before, me and Jaden are behind the set giving it loads with about 5 air fryers, cooking chicken, cooking cauliflower, cooking all of these things, like panicking. All these people are like walking past, holding their ears like we're about to rob a bank, going, or a casino, going, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah, can you do this? Can you do that? Like, you need to hurry up. You need to hurry up.
Cook?
It was mad. Yeah. It was so mad. You need to hurry up. You need to do this. You need to do that. How quick can you get that? I was like, is Gordon in here? Because he keeps telling me to hurry up cooking this chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was so mad. And then we ended up plating it all up, told them how we wanted it. There was still some stuff cooking, so then they finished it and took it round. So we know all that carnage is going on behind there.
Yeah.
And then we're stood staring at the doors of the lift that's not a lift.
So, that's not a lift. And flustered, I'd imagine, at this point, because you've been like
literally shooting, basically.
So now we're like, right, we need to compose ourselves now.
Right.
Yeah, then we get pulled in there, and then basically you get told, go into the room, spend about 2 or 3 minutes in there just looking around, because like they film it all with GoPros and stuff. And then you hear like a chime, and then you walk around the corner, and as you walk around the corner, I think it was you or me, I had to press the lift door. It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Press the lift door and you wait till it goes green. And when it goes green, then you press the lift door, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You're in like the holding bit. You can have a glass of water. That's where you see us walking in.
Yeah.
And they got all the pictures of the dragons.
Right.
Yeah. And then all you see before that is the lift door's like right here. And our chaperone producers sat on a chair here.
Right.
So you press the lift door before you go in. All you get is like, there's just the producer go like, good luck. But you get told nothing, like, we don't know what's going to happen, like, oh my God. And then you go into the lift, and we was in that lift for about 4 minutes, which is a long time when you're waiting for a door to open.
Yeah.
And go on.
No, go on.
And you can hear all of the dragons coming in. And obviously they don't know, they have no idea what brand is about to come on. So they're seeing it for the first time.
It is very real.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they've no clue.
They have no clue. And because it's all a set, you can hear them, and you can hear them all coming in. The first thing I heard was Sarah Davies go, "Lumberjack, what's this lumberjack stuff?"
Yeah.
And like they're all chit-chatting, and then literally like something out of a movie, the lift doors open, and you've got 6 dragons staring at you. And to be fair, they're all staring at you with like the biggest smiles that they could on their faces. And
the only person that never was Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Everyone else is smiling, and Peter's eyes.
Yeah, Peter's looking. Peter's looking slouched out with his big socks and his legs out.
Yeah.
Looking, thinking of it. He's been there, done it.
Yeah.
Probably just wants to be on his boat.
Yeah,
And then
I just remember the doors opening, and then I thought Jaden started walking, and I thought, oh, he's walking forwards, and then like it was like an out of body experience.
Yes, I
and
can
then I'm
imagine.
walking forwards, and I'm like, and then Stephen's there staring at us, like they're all there, and I'm like, Deborah's like literally like in the middle in front of us. I'm thinking, I've seen her on the telly for years. What are we even doing stood in the den now? And then Jaden starts talking, and I thought, oh, he's talking. I need to remember what I need to say.
I remember being like so. I remember at the time, obviously because of adrenaline and stuff, I didn't feel any nerves. I literally just felt excited. Like I couldn't wait for the doors to open.
Good.
And I couldn't wait to speak to them all. And I just remember like the doors open. I was like, right, I'm here. Bang, I'm going for it. Walked straight towards the ex, started talking. And then, yeah, it was crazy how like, it was crazy. We went in there fully expecting to be told, what the hell are you two lads on about? Your business is too small. See you later.
Yeah.
So like, and let's not forget, and I know I've said this quite often, but you get told nothing. So I don't know if they're going to tell, if we might say our pitch and they might go, that's rubbish, or you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me. And you know what they're like, being the Dragons. So when we went forwards and we said our pitch, and like our pitch went great, we didn't stumble, we didn't like, nothing went wrong.
I remember being so relieved when we got to the end of the pitch, and I was like, yeah, all right, we knocked
it out of the park, yeah, for sure.
We'd rehearsed it that many times. We literally said it like we'd been saying it in the hotel room.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And I was like, buzzing.
Couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah. And then the first person to talk was Sarah Davies, and the first thing she said was, just before anyone asks any questions, that's how you do a pitch.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I think
my
that
God.
like immediately calmed us. They were like, oh, okay.
She was like, I know who you are, what your industry is, where you are in the industry, what's this, what's that. She was
Oh, I
like,
got
if you're,
goosebumps.
yeah. She went, if you're going to come and do a pitch to Dragons, that's how you do it.
So you must have felt so good hearing
Yeah,
that.
we was like, buzzing, that was a good start.
Yeah. A bit like, I think this is where like the whole you feel every emotion, because you're like, you don't really know how to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, you don't want her to say that, and then 2 minutes later you're being grilled.
Yeah.
So it was like a mix of like all this stuff happening at once. But then the Dragons started talking, and we spoke a lot more about our business, where we're at. And then it got to the stage where we knew what we wanted, right? We knew where we were as a business. We knew roughly where we wanted to be as a business in the future, and we knew why we was on the show and why we needed the money. So actually thinking about it, we had quite a simple business proposition, which was, we've got a successful business, although in the grand scheme, like to only turning over like 100 and something grand at the time, which to them is nothing.
Yeah, but to me, it's like,
Yeah,
that's
to
loads.
us, like, bloody hell. So we had a really simple business proposition. Like we've got this business, we're in all these guidance centres, but we just can't make it quick enough, and we've got all this future potential about us. So we were like presenting this quite simple thing to them.
We'd proved the demand was there.
Yeah,
Really well.
Which is basically what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you can't, how nice to say, I've got this product and I can't make it quick enough.
Yeah.
How like amazing must that feel?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then like we just kept talking, and it sort of got to the stage where, in a very, very good way, we had an answer for every single question that the Dragons were asking, to the point where like Tuka said it, Deborah said it, they all said it. They'd all start a question and go, do you know what? I'm not even going to continue because I know you've got an answer.
Well, Jaden won't bring it up, but I'm going to. So Tuka asked Jaden about if we'd had demand off supermarkets and our cost of manufacture, and Jade, which was around £1.60 at the time,
Something like that, yeah.
And Jaden goes, yeah, okay, it's high at the moment, but we've found the factory in China that can manufacture the tins. We can also do this, this, and this, which that meant if we do all of these things, it means we can smash that below £1. And Tuka like sat back in his chair and went, you are the most intelligent 21-year-old we've ever had in this den.
See.
And I just remember looking at him thinking, Jaden's going to put that on his gravestone.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was just, and like everyone else was, they said it, and everyone, he was going, you're brilliant, and everyone else was going, yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
I'm sitting there like, what? What is going on?
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
surreal, yeah. So at this stage now, we're thinking like, oh my God, we're going to get, because even like Peter Jones kept asking questions, and we had answers. And we were like,
Sorry to
Go
cut
on.
you off. Peter actually said as well, he asked us, he wasn't on the episode, but he asked us about the brand. And he kept looking at us, smiling, and went, I actually think you could take some of this and push it sideways. And he was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I could see that brand on other stuff. And I was like, well, yeah, you know, I don't see why there's any reason we can't put our brand on a drink or our brand on this, our brand on that.
Yeah.
And he actually seemed quite excited about it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So then bear in mind, this is now at least an hour and a half into the pitch. We're sweating like I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's going really well at this point. And it got to the stage where it looked like we was going to get an offer off all of them.
Yeah.
It was going so well. And then slowly but surely, they started making their minds up. So it started off with Tuka.
There was a massive moment of silence, weren't there?
Yes. Yeah. We didn't realise this till post the show. So should I wait till that's not? There we go. So during the pitch, what was the question that Deborah asked us a question? Do you remember what it was?
It was I don't think it was Deborah. I think it was Tuka. No, it was Peter asked us. So Peter said to us, something. So when do you realise that it's not going to be efficient enough for you to manufacture it?
Oh, yeah.
And then I said, like, the numbers we've done now, we're filling a large capacity as we are. We can definitely expand that capacity. But if we was to go mass market and go and get a supermarket deal, we do understand it may become
unfeasible
for us to make it ourselves. And then there was just a moment of silence.
Yeah, it was like simultaneously all of the dragons looked down at their books all at once, and it was silent for about a minute.
Oh, God.
And Deborah looked to the point where I thought like something was going on, like the cameramen were going to come in or something and get like close-up shots. Like me and him looked at each other like, what's going on? And Deborah looks up and goes, it's a really good thing if we're all quiet. And actually, Stephen Bartlett made a YouTube video about one of his investments. And in that documentary, he said, there's a great moment in the den when all the dragons stop talking at once. And that's because all the dragons want to make an offer, but they don't want to be the first person to
lay their cards on the table.
Which is exactly what happened to us. I think all the dragons are thinking like...
But they're all writing in their book. They're all like looking at you and writing in their books and stuff, aren't they?
Yeah. They do a lot of staring.
It must be quite uncomfortable for you. Someone's like staring at you and just writing in a book.
The thing is that they look at us and like we're smiling back at them, like, you know what I mean?
Do you know what was not the weirdest, but the thing that I didn't expect was when Jaden's saying something, they're all looking at me for my reaction.
Okay.
And when I'm saying something, they're all looking to see what he's doing.
Yeah, so like Stephen Bartlett was really like, he was really looking. Like to the point where I was looking at him like, this man's looking into like my soul. It was
but
so
then
weird.
they all kept like you'd look at them and they'd just go and like smile at you. And then like at the time, when we was doing our pitch, I don't remember Emma saying like loads, but she just looking back, she just reacted to what we were saying.
Right, okay.
Like there was another thing. So when Tuka said that about Jaden being intelligent, I told him that basically in secondary school, Jaden won the Bill Gates Award to be most likely to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
And they was all laughing their heads off. And then Emma said it's going to happen.
Oh, I think so.
But we didn't even pick up on that. When you look back, like at the start of it, Jaden went, I wonder if they guess dragons into seasonings and sauces. Don't remember him saying that. Well, in fact, when we had our watch party and it was on the telly and he said it, I looked at him like this. I was like, I don't remember that. But it was almost like...
And I remember Peter Jones said, because the thing is, like, once we was like half an hour in, we were like called out. So it was just like I was having a conversation with our mate. And I remember Peter Jones he asked me a question and he went, how old are you? I said, 21. He said, yeah, I was a millionaire when I was your age. I went, yes, mate. I said, no, I'm very jealous. And like we just got all the dragons laughing. Yeah, and I think like they looked at us and they just thought, oh, these two lads have come on. So so it got to the stage where like they were all going to make an offer. But slowly but surely, they started going out. So Tuka was the first to go out and basically said, I don't think there's any value I can add to your brand. Then Sarah Davies said that she was out, which she said that she invested in a food brand before. But it said it was the hardest thing she's ever done, to the point where she gave them their shares back because she didn't want anything to do with it. Deborah said that she was out. Can you remember why?
Deborah basically said they get a lot of opportunity to place their money in places where they get major return.
That's it,
she
yeah.
don't feel like she'd get her money back quick enough.
Right, okay.
And then it was then Stephen. By the way, they're saying that they're out and we weren't taking no for an answer. Probably why we was in there for so
They
long.
don't show you this on the TV.
They
Yeah,
cut it
of
all
course.
out. So we're going like, nah, like you should because of this, because of that. And it was left with Stephen. And obviously Stephen being the young entrepreneur was definitely on our list of dragons. Like this bloke could blow your brand up.
And he spoke about he works with his brother too, and all of
Yeah,
this sort of
and
stuff.
like they all start well, before saying that out, they all start off by saying all these great things about you. So I'm thinking, oh my God, we're about to get an investment off Stephen. And he's talking about like, he asked our ages again. He said, oh, I work with my brother and there's an age gap. And like, he's chit-chatting. He's
talking
like, oh,
about binding force of trust and all sorts.
yeah. And he's going like, I've looked at you two. And he's like, I can picture myself. And I'm thinking like, gosh, hopefully we might get an offer here. And then he's going, he basically said, I'm not passionate enough. He said, I'm that far in my career now, I've done that much investments. If I want to do another investment, I need to have some level of passion in it to really grow it as a brand. So I'm going like, Stephen, I'll make you passionate about like you go. I know you go to the
use
gym.
it on your meal prep.
Yeah, I'm like telling him everything, and like I think he like looking back, I remember it like it was yesterday. I think he's just sat there, just looking at me like this, going like, this kid, like, yeah. But I think obviously it's a lot of money. We're asking for like 90 grand, so it's a lot of money.
We're asking for 90 grand. We've only turned over 110.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you actually dig.
It overvalued our business massively, and I just remember him basically. He may as well have said, "Guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm out."
He was very like.
Continued to look at us after as well. Even when we left, I remember he looked at me and he nodded as if to say, like, keep going.
One day.
Yeah.
We've bumped into Peter since, but one day we'll bump into Stephen.
Of course you will.
And I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to
you
it.
will.
Looking forward to it. And that then leaves. So when you watch the episode, Peter's one of the first to go out. That's not how it happens in real life. So it then left Emma and Peter. Obviously, we're looking at Emma thinking, never in a million, she doesn't give a flying donkey. She doesn't care about seasons and sauces, because we were a bit naive to actually how involved in the food industry that she actually is. Excuse me. So it was then left with Peter. Peter's going on, Levi roots this, reggae sauce that, on to the next thing. And you know, was giving us a lot of synergy to it.
And he gave us a lot of pointers as well, didn't he?
Yeah, saying like, you should definitely do this, you should definitely do that. And then he basically said, it's almost as if we were like 3 months too early for him to invest in as a brand.
Right.
And never to be said that he was out. Again, we're going back to Peter like, no, we can do this, we can do that. Like, come on, join the team.
We're very defeated by that point, though.
Yeah, like when you see, so in the episode, when Emma then starts talking, it pans to me and Brendan, it looks like we've been like hit by a bus, basically.
Yeah.
And at the time, I just remember thinking like, basically, how are we going to rinse all the PR and marketing off this now? Because all the dragons have said no, because Emma's definitely not going to invest in our
Well,
brand.
she was sat there, I still remember, she was sat there in her gold Victoria Beckham dress that's probably worth more than my car. Well, it definitely is worth more than my car. And I thought, I just don't
We've
think
had it.
I don't think she's going to like care. And how wrong was we?
Yeah.
Because I remember she went, and so there was one. And then she told us, like, she spoke about the fact that she's from a single parent background, just like we are, that she's one of four, we're two of four. She wanted, when she was at similar ages to us, like, she remembers like wanting to find a way out and sort of work at stuff to get herself out of a situation, blah, blah, blah. And then she spoke about basically that we felt really familiar to how she was and how she is as a person, because she lives in LA now, but she's very like rooted to the fact that she's from East London. And
And like she lived in Meriden for like a year.
Yeah.
No way.
So we had a bit of a connection straight away, I think.
Yeah.
Like with us being bummies and stuff.
And like when during again, something else they don't show you is like they're asking us about the industry, and I'm going, you know, barbecue scene in the UK is growing massively. Like Emma, you'll know in America, like it's practically a way of life. Like in America, they just barbecue. It's like what they do. It's like ingrained in them, really. And then basically she gave us the speech that she said, and said she was going to give us the money. And I just,
you're gobsmacked.
I just remember putting my head in my hands like this, crying.
Oh.
Thinking, oh my God, I can tell my wife and kids that we've done it.
Yeah.
Because we've had that
I
many.
feel emotional.
I could
for
almost
you.
cry thinking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
And like we were that flustered, like we didn't even say yeah. And it was Deborah when like, was it Deborah or Peter? Peter goes, that deal?
No, it was
Deborah?
Stephen. Stephen said it, yeah.
One
He
of
went,
them said,
have we got a deal?
oh yeah, Stephen, we got a deal. Of course we have.
Yes.
And then yeah.
Amazing.
And then me and I just looked at Jaden and we hugged each other. And then Emma jumped out of a chair. She's like, I'm coming in for a cuddle and that. And then we just hugged each other. And then, like, even like when we got when Emma said she was going to give us the deal, when you watch it, Peter Jones's fist bumping, they're all like half like jumped out their chair, didn't they? That we got a deal. Because I think like, although they didn't for their reasons, they all really wanted us to get.
Of course they did. They want you to do well because they can see.
Yeah, Deborah was saying like you'll be back in 10 years.
Yeah,
with like something 10 times bigger. I mean, she's a little bit wrong about that because our business has exploded since. But she was saying like, guys, you two, like you've got it, you've made it, you've got it. Just keep going.
She's like, I don't worry for you.
That was it. Don't worry for you.
She's like, I worry for some people, but I don't worry for you.
And how nice is that to hear? I just ask you at this point, how does your mum feel?
She's proud of us. I think basically when it went out, there was a lot said about our mum and the fact that she brought us up on her own and stuff. So I think it was quite like every newspaper in the country wrote about it at the time.
Right.
And I think perhaps like it was probably a little bit overwhelming at one point, but she's like super proud.
Of course she is.
To be honest, I don't think she. Similar to us, really. Like I think sometimes she has to give her head a wobble and go, "Is this actually happening to?"
Because when it's you and you're living it, you're in the motions, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it's other people are going, "You're absolutely smashing it, lads! Like your mum must be so proud, and everyone's buzzing for you. I feel buzzing for you.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the episode. First thing I want to do when I go in is watch the episode. I feel like so buzzing for you.
Yeah.
But when you're in it, you're going through the motions, aren't you? So you almost feel like that out of body experience. It's so surreal that you don't actually feel like it's you, or you feel like
you just think like, is this happening to people like us? Because this is something that it is something you watch on TV. Yeah, and it don't really happen to people like us.
Exactly, but it does. Because you've put the work in. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to like move on now to Aldi because obviously LumberJaxe, as of a couple of Sundays ago, wasn't it, is now in the middle aisles in Aldi.
It is.
Is it just Birmingham Aldi's?
Every store in the country.
Every store in the country. Because I noticed something about, I noticed the word Birmingham and I was like, oh, need to check that. Every store in, every Aldi store in the country now has your brand. How do you feel about that?
That was, to be honest, like since the Den went out, it's been mental, hasn't it? Like, everything that's happened's been crazy. Like we've been doing like getting booked as chefs, doing sort of events and stuff, meeting a lot of people really resonating with our story, and like we've had thousands and thousands of people like reach out and say like that they cried at their TV, that they like are so happy that we got the investment, and like I feel really great. Well, we feel really grateful because the UK public have really championed us as a brand and as people. So we had some like, so we got into Selfridges, which has been amazing. We got into Ocado, which has been amazing. And then we attended the Farm Shop and Deli show at the NEC. And we got approached by various retailers. And Aldi
come round the corner.
Like
a gang of buyers from Aldi comes round the corner.
Like literally 5 minutes before the end of the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Literally at the very, very end. And there was like, we're excited about this. Like we want to book a meeting with you. And then within a couple of weeks, we ended up in Aldi's head office, negotiating terms, negotiating units, negotiating what the launch was going to look like. And then we came down to, we'd do two of our sauces, our barbecue sauce, backyard barbecue, and our moonshine mango sauce in every single store in the country. And then we had a chaotic time getting all that. Obviously, we've gone from.
So you two are still making it at this point?
No, so yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no. So
still be making it now.
Yeah.
So just to rewind a touch, so basically there was an 8-month period from when we got the investment to when the den aired.
Right.
And in that time, we had a couple of months waiting for like a due diligence period. We ended up getting on a call with Emma, and we're in close contact with her. We've got a meeting with her next week, actually, haven't we? Like, we speak to her all the time. We're just in a WhatsApp group with her. She's been amazing since the show. Like, because we had that as well. People were like, they'll never hear off her again. But we speak to her all the time. Like, she has been really, really great.
And that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, even like little things like we'll have a phone call with her when she's on her way to work and stuff like that. Just like, and then like when the Audi thing came up, we sort of ran that by to see like what she thought about it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so in that period, we outsourced manufacturing. So we work with 2 companies now, which we work very closely with, 2 family-run businesses.
Right.
We're very heavy involved in like the MPD side of it, like making sure it's still to how we want
Quality
it, and
check-in,
quality
yeah.
check-in and stuff. But yeah, we signed the deal with Audi, and then we had to, because even though obviously we've just come off the back of the den, so time is of the essence, really. Like, we want to do this thing as quickly as possible. And was it 12 weeks turnaround that we did?
Yeah, they
13?
basically said, like, guys, if we're going to hit this date, like, we're going to have to pull some strings on our end. Because it normally takes, this is like a 6 to 12 month process normally.
And we've just done it in 3 months.
Yeah, like, we had to set up as a new supplier, get clearance to supply, to be honest, I think putting the sources into Audi was the most stressful thing I've done, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, without a doubt. Like, making sure like stuff wasn't even on like because it was that not it wasn't anyone's fault, but just because of the time frame. Like, stuff wasn't even on like it was meant to be on sale on Sunday. Stuff's only on lorries Tuesday, Wednesday, and like you're hoping nothing happens, and like you're not getting. I wasn't. It was just an absolute. Looking back, like, thank God, but like trying to get everything done and everything lined up.
It's the logistics of it all, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I was having like sleepless nights. Like,
Of course.
Yeah. Like, I kept saying to Brendan, like, once these sauces are on the lorry, it's out of my hands, I'm sweet.
And when you think as well, like, we've gone from making batches of 80 sauces in our mum's kitchen to now putting 85,000 units on some Arctic lorries, 50 pallets worth into Aldi. So like,
and how does the restocking go there? Then I'll just take it that's all sorted out by. How does it work? Like, so once it sells out.
Yeah. So with it being a special buy, so they've ordered that units off us.
Yeah.
They distribute it across all the stores. When it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
So that's our Aldi. This is like a nice introduction to retail for us, essentially.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's a nice way for Aldi to then test the brand. Who knows what conversations we're going to have with Aldi post this.
Right.
Well, it's here's your special buy. It'll be in here anywhere from about 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
When it's gone, it's gone. Come and grab it.
Yeah.
I haven't got any yet. I better get down there.
I don't know why we didn't bring it.
Yeah, definitely should have bought
We
some.
will, you're local to us, we'll drop you some round.
Will ya?
We
Thanks.
will, yeah.
Because what if I go, I'll talk about Aldi a bit on this. I haven't done for ages, but my local Aldi's Northfield.
Yeah.
And it stresses me out. I can't go in there. Well, I can go in there if it's just opened or it's just about to close.
Yeah.
Because this is not knocking the people in Northfield. I'm B31 to the core. But stop laughing, Carl. But I get stressed in there. It's the layout of it as well. I mean, I know they're all the same, but the Hales Owen one is a lot better.
Yeah. So that's our local store.
The Hales Owen.
Yeah.
That's better for me. It's a bit bigger. The Northfield one, honest to God.
The car park's a bit funny in Northfield as well, isn't it? Because it's like one on, one off.
Yeah. So I avoid it because of that. And then Hales Owen's just that little bit further for me.
Yeah.
So what I do like to go, if my lad's at rugby, I'll nip in.
Yeah.
But I avoid Northfield Aldi at all costs. I do. Because of that. It's just because it stresses me out. It really it's me. But anyway, right. So what's the goal now? What are you going to do?
Who knows?
And are you now, like now that you know it's there, the special buy? Have you? Can you chill a bit? Have you taken your foot off the gas a little bit?
In some ways, yes, and then opportunity always comes around the corner. So like, there's a couple of things that we can't talk about because of non-disclosure reasons. But like, we got into Aldi, and then another opportunity presented itself like a week later for us to manufacture a certain kind of product, and it was like, gosh, we should jump on top of this. So we're saying yes to that and doing that because we can see like what benefits that brings to our brand. And then we've just launched in Aldi. So like we are, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I'll say it anyway. I believe that we're like only the second ever craft sauce brand to go into Aldi.
Okay.
So we're getting like phone calls, emails off, you can guess, like, you know, other companies. And so like we've took our foot off the gas in regards to, we're no longer stressed that we need to get this deal over the line. And like, because our business in regards to like garden centres, farm shops and butchers sort of runs autonomously for us now anyway. But now it's like, right, we've always got to continuously think ahead is the other thing.
That's it.
So now our stresses have sort of gone to, right, next thing, and lining up something basically.
Yeah. I think that's what's sort of got us here really, is we don't give ourselves. So the Aldi thing landed and it's like, right, so what are we doing on social media and what are we doing for social media presence, for marketing? So it's all right going into Aldi, but we want to actually absolutely smash them through store. So then it's a different worry now. So it's like, well, how do we keep the rate of sale up? How do we make sure they're selling in store? And then it's like Jaden said, like other things, like, right, that's done. That they're going through store. It's out of our hands now. So let's move on to the next thing. And we are literally 100 mile an hour constantly, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like me, knackered. Right, there's a feature on every single episode every week called the Spin Justice of the Week. Did you read the plan I sent you?
Yes.
I feel like you did read the plan. So I'll tell you mine so you get a feel for it, and then I'll come to you and ask you if you've got one. And mine this week is food based.
Yeah.
Hello Fresh. Right. Have you used it before?
I've used it for about 2 weeks.
I have
a couple of years ago.
Gusto.
Yes.
So you know how it works. You pick your meals, it turns up. You're on a subscription. If you don't want it every week, you can skip this week, or you can. Do you know what I mean? Don't you? So anyway, I like to have them delivered every now and then, but it's not something I can do every week because I think it is overpriced.
Yeah.
But I like to cook new things. So, and you know, for the boys to eat new things as well. So I don't skip it all the time. I like to maybe have one a month turn up. Anyway, I had some fraudulent activity on my bank, which meant my card details changed. So when it comes out your bank, obviously it's got declined because my card's changed now. So anyway, I got this notification on my phone saying, your HelloFresh has been declined. I thought, bloody hell, I've got a new bank card. But at the time, I was just, you know, you're busy and stressed all the time. It just wasn't the top of my priority list. I just thought, I can't deal with that now. Surely they're not going to deliver it then. Surely to God, if they've had a payment declined on a Monday and the box is due to be delivered on a Friday, surely they're not going to send it because it hasn't been paid for. How can you run a business like that and sending things out before you receive the money? So I just thought, it ain't going to come.
Yeah.
And it came, didn't it? So on the Friday, I'm at home, knock, knock, here's your HelloFresh box, and snap, take a photo, you know, that you've received it.
Yeah.
But how am I going to get out of this now? Because I'm a bit of a rogue. I've got a bit rogue with things. I'm stopping paying for things here and there. The water, the council tax. Not the council tax. I'm still paying that for now. For now. Stopped my TV licence and the water because I'm distilling my own water. Another story. Another episode. So I basically said, you laughing, Carl?
Who's laughing?
So I thought, I ain't paying it, basically. But the box is here now. So obviously, I'm having it. So I've cooked the food. This was in May. Well, they send you emails, don't they, saying, we've delivered the food and you haven't paid for it. And I'm thinking, dickheads, why have you done that?
Yeah.
So just deleting these emails. And like, in fact, I've even then gone into the app and cancelled the whole subscription at this point.
Yeah.
Fuck off, I haven't paid for that. Then they're emailing me, same. And then I don't hear anything for ages. So I just thought, they've obviously moved on. And then I got a letter basically saying, if you don't pay for this by the 27th of August, we're going to send this to a debt collection agency. Oh, for God's sake. So I'm doing a bit of Googling like I do because I think, how much can I actually get away with this? Like I did when I got the school fine. Took my kids on holiday, got fined.
Oh, that winds me up.
Yeah. So I Googled into that and I thought, do you know what? They send the bailiffs round, you know.
Yeah.
And I just thought, pick your battles, Hayley. Sometimes I've got the fight in me. But for a 40 or 50 quid HelloFresh box, I ain't got it in me. So yesterday was the last day. So I paid it last night because I thought, I don't want the aggro.
Yeah.
So anyone who thinks that you can have the stuff and they're not going to chase you for the money, you're wrong, because they will. Yeah. And then they'll send it onto a debt collection and then you get fees. So I learnt my lesson there.
So you paid for the box.
So I paid for it, but it was my injustice that I had to pay for it. 'Cause it was last night, and I'd been round my mates as well. I'd had a couple of beers and a Chinese, and I'd come back and the letter was on the table because I'd purposely left it there thinking it's the last day today, you need to pay this.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock last night. I'm like, it's on my phone, like, I'm having to pay this for this money, so I did it. So that's mine. I've offloaded it now. I feel like it's gone.
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Yeah. When I first read it, the first thing that come to my mind was like, I think on the opposite foot of what someone does to us kind of thing is obviously our business isn't massive, but we're not small. And I'm just I suppose at the time, like a 21-year-old kid. You're 30, knocking on something. What? 32?
30 knocking on something.
30 knocking on something. So whenever we first like introduce ourselves to a new customer or a new brand, they just think that like we're these two young people that haven't got a clue.
Yes.
And so whenever we have new meetings, we have to spend like 45 minutes proving to ourselves, to whoever we're speaking to, that, oh, no, like, we know what we're on about. And sometimes people they can come across quite condescending, where they automatically assume that like we won't really have a clue what they're going on about, or like certain terminology. So we always have to spend like half an hour, 45 minutes proving to people. And like it happens, every meeting's the same. Like we'll see people immediately think these two lads have locked up, they haven't got a clue. And then we'll see half an hour later how they've quickly changed the tune.
Yes.
Yeah. And like there's sometimes like we've been trying to pitch our product and then, oh yeah, just you know, they basically don't care. And then when we launch, we become one of the best selling products.
Yeah.
Because we know what we're on about.
Yeah.
And that's what like, especially me being younger, like when we tried to find co-packers, like we split our roles again. So Brendan was sorting something else out. I was trying to get us into co-packers. Well, I wasn't even meant to talk about the fact that it was on Dragon's Den. So I'm calling all of these companies up as a 21-year-old kid saying, oh, you know, something's happened like in our business, which means we're going to be in front of loads of people's faces. Like, can you co-pack our product? Obviously a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
And people are like, they will immediately judge and be like, what's this kid going on about? Absolutely not.
And that's been the case for the whole business. Like, even in the early days, me and Jaden would rock up to events and everyone would think I was his boss.
Right.
And then like they'd just bypass him and go, what about this? And I'm going, to Jaden, question, mate, you need to ask him. And they go, I need to ask him. And I'm like, yeah. And then they go, okay. And look at me like I'm a weirdo. So they got to go and ask Jaden what the question is, especially when you was younger. Like,
yeah, and I used to get it. Like, we used to do these 5 stages, and if I'd go on one of our employees, I'd just tell him, I said, if someone comes up and goes, is it your business? Just tell him, yeah. Because we'd always go, no, it's his. No, just tell him it is.
Or if I went there, they'd go, you should tell your boss this. And they go, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was great, yeah.
It must be quite frustrating. But you also must feel quite smug. I would feel smug. In that position, I would feel like, you know, like when you say you can quickly see people change their tune. To me, I'd be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would feel, because you constantly have to justify yourself. Yeah, constantly have to like proving to people that I know what I'm talking about here. But then when you can see that switch, that must be so satisfying.
Yeah.
I think as well, like what without us realising it, because we've got Birmingham accents, that is like doubled. People think that we're even more stupid.
Yeah.
Like with this young kid that's rocked up, and he's got a Brummie accent, like
the Brummie,
got a clue.
The Brummie accent's done 2 things. Like I was actually like, similar to what Jaden said, people are going to think we sound a bit thick like on the TV. And like, it's not very often you hear a Brummie accent on the TV, I don't think. You hear a few, like Alison Hammond and like people like that.
Yeah.
You hear a few, but not like loads. But in actual fact, like Jaden said, there is the potential that people think that we're a bit dopey because of it. But it's actually a very endearing accent. And people
I think so.
And people do feel like, people do think that you're like salt of the earth because you're a Brummie. And Brummies are. I think us Brummies, we are salt of the earth type people. We just say it how it is. There's no if, buts or maybes. We're straight laced and that's
100%.
what we are.
Yeah, I agree. And I wouldn't necessarily think negatively about a Brummie accent, but maybe I should.
Yeah, well, when you
go to London,
when you smack bang in
really?
the middle of London and there's like loads of Londoners and you're the Brummie, like we've got loads
that's not the majority, but I think definitely we always get voted like the worst accent, don't we, all the time?
Yeah, God, I didn't know. I did a podcast last week on someone else's channel in Liverpool, and his accent, I was just like, it was just like looking at him the whole time. It's just, I love that accent. Find that very endearing. Yeah. So have you got a spin justice, or would you say it's a joint?
Yeah, Jaden's is definitely up there. Based on what you've just said about being frustrated about paying something, I won't name the store, but
Oh yeah,
can.
this is an injustice.
I live opposite a certain store,
Okay.
and when we bought our house, part of living there, because there's all double yellow lines outside our house. So part of the deal was, because the store was built after the houses, that if we have a visitor, we can have a visitor or park on that car park.
Of course.
It's a massive car park. There's probably like 10 houses tops, isn't there? And that's been the way it's been for the past 4 years, no bother. But then they've put new signs up and a ANPR camera now. So all of a sudden we're not allowed to park on there. But I had a car on my drive that had an engine blown up in it. So I went in there and I said, can I ask a massive favour? I understand if you're changing it, but can you just put my reg on there for a week so I can get rid of this car that's got a broke engine, and then I'll get that car off there and I'll put it on my drive? They said no. So I thought, what am I going to do? I drove around for half an hour. I couldn't find anywhere with a yellow, without double yellows.
Yeah, yeah.
So I took my car behind our house, which is an upper slip road where nobody goes.
Yeah.
Come out in the morning, had a £70 fine.
Oh,
I was fuming. All because this twat wouldn't let me.
And why have they stopped letting the residents park on there if that was the deal? Why have they changed the narrative?
Because they've decided now that they can just do what they want.
I don't like that.
But then now, like, all the residents in where we live, in these 10 houses, we're like, because there's loads. Jaden being Jaden and my son being my son, they've looked into it. Like, they have 3 lorries a day come to the store. They're only meant to have 1.
They have the planning permission.
Yeah.
They have lorries coming in from 6:30 in the morning. Nothing's meant to come in until 7:30.
Oh, take them to the cleaners, will ya?
So now the 10 houses, I think we're all going to write a letter to the council.
Oh, please. Oh, I'd love to know the outcome.
But I was fuming. And admittedly, I paid it in 14 days and got it for 35 quid. But like, I'm thinking I'm getting...
It's besides the point.
I'm getting fined for parking outside.
And obviously, like, living opposite that certain store, all the 10 residents, but obviously including you, especially having the amount of kids you got, even there, like,
we're their best customers.
I bet you are.
Like, we forget squash on a regular... But I must go into this store, and I'm only saying this store because we might end up getting stocked in there one day.
Yeah.
But I go in there at least 3 times a day. I actually think, like, the amount of time I spend in there in a month, I reckon I'd be sick if I realised how much I spend
spending in there. Yeah, that's the... Yeah.
And then they've just done us over like that.
No,
but it's fine. Like, I'll move the car. But if my nan and granddad want to come round my house now, they're expecting my nan and granddad to walk miles to get to my house.
Not on.
So
I was going to ask you about your nan and granddad. I'm glad you mentioned them. So I bet they're proud as punch, aren't they?
yeah, they are.
Bet they are.
They my nan talks about it a lot. My granddad's like a man of a few words, but like even he showed like he's said like he's proud of us.
I love that. I just bloody love that so much.
Yeah, and he's a man of a few words, but he showed a bit of emotion over it, innit?
Yeah.
And I think he when we had the watch party, because we had a watch party at the Hyatt on Broad, not the Hyatt, the Novotel on Broad Street, and everyone came, and like, I think because obviously we've talked about it only to family, because we was NDA'd up to our eyeballs at the time. We weren't allowed to speak about it, but like to like close family, we was like saying, oh yeah, this happened and this happened in there, and I'm wondering if they're going to show this, I'm wondering if they're going to show that. So we talked about this thing for so long, but like everyone then had the opportunity to sit and watch it with their own eyes.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
I think like it like caught him up a bit. I don't think.
I love that.
Yeah, because he went man of a few words. He watched the episode and then disappeared for a bit.
Oh,
so yeah.
Oh God. Got any shout outs? Aldi are getting a shout out.
Aldi will get a shout out. Yeah. I'm gonna shout out our granddad.
Oh
yeah. His barbecue.
What's his name?
Rob. Everyone calls him Bob.
Bob. Grandad Bob.
Yeah.
Shout out Grandad Bob. Love that.
I found out as well. He built his barbecue back in the 70s. I only found that out about a few months. It's weird as well because obviously we walk past it all the time now, and it's like it's got to be the most written about barbecue in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Just sat in my granddad's.
Sat there, yeah. Love
garden,
that.
Yeah.
You got any shout outs?
Don't know. It can be lonely in life, can't it? When you're doing stuff like this.
Yes, it can. Businesses though. I mean, mine's going to be a business.
A business.
Yeah, I mean,
I've got a shout out Andy Moore's and his mum and dad, who's a really good, one of my closest friends. And his mum and dad are some of the loveliest people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And like when we went on Dragon's Den, I was getting pictures of his mum every day. Like, I'm using your sauce on this, I'm using your sauce on that. But Andy is hands down one of the loveliest, nicest people. So just being able to like, we've been recently going to some curries. It's becoming like a weekly
Loves a
occurrence.
curry, Jaden does.
Loves a curry.
love a
But
curry.
he'll move heaven and earth. Like, he come to have viewing and like loads of stuff. I need to also shout out Brandon Hoare, right? When I go, obviously, like, you leave school and you drift,
Yeah, of course, naturally.
and there's only one person from school that ever supported me from the early days and would constantly, and like, we weren't even the best of friends at school, really. We were, because we went to primary school and secondary school together. We weren't best friends. And he, and I say it to him every single time I see him, so I'm definitely going to tell him, I shouted him out here, he's one of the only people ever to have messaged. Of course, I've speak to everybody, but like from the early days, to really support it from the early days.
From the off, yeah.
Because we used to do like street food. He was one of the first people to buy it, constantly buying our products, come to the Dragon's Den viewing. So I definitely have to shout out Brandon Hoare. Brandon Hoare.
What school did you go to?
Bartley Green.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. Local then?
Yeah, very local.
Oh, brilliant.
Who are you shouting out?
Mine's my accountant.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
how you say it all. So many people you can shout out.
I was thinking about it on the way in, and I thought, who's helped me out this week? And so her name's Lisa, and her business is called Clearly Accounted. So Lisa from Clearly Accounted. She's not got a huge Instagram. She doesn't work that much off Instagram, but she has got an account. So for anyone that's looking for an accountant, you can get through to her on there. But I swear to God, I had a bloke on the podcast. It must have been the beginning of the year. I think it was series 2, episode 1, a financial episode. Tom Sawbridge, and he put me onto her. He said, "Oh, I've got a friend who's just set up on her own. She can help you with your accounts." Oh my God, she's changed my life.
Yeah.
I don't get accounts, okay? I haven't got that mindset. Just like Carl does the producing and the technical stuff behind the scenes there, it don't go in. I can sit, I can talk, I can learn a lot of things, but if I'm not interested in it, I don't want to learn it. Do you know what I mean? So the technical stuff that Carl's doing, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
The accounts, I don't want to know. You just do it for me, please, and then I'll just pay you to do it.
I'll just pay you to do it.
Yeah.
So Lisa does the accounts for me, and so I've got my spin business, which is like indoor cycling, and I do 6 classes a week at that, and then obviously the podcast. So, but the spin business has recently been set up as a CIC. So it's a community interest company, and through that you can get funding, etc. So because I've got the CIC that side, she's done it all. She's told me. So yesterday we had a chat just for half an hour on Teams, just so she can break it all down to me and go, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do, this is what you must do. And that's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all in a nutshell. Just sum it up for me in a nutshell, and you just do all the rest. And that's exactly what she does. So Lisa at Clearly Accounted is mine.
I've got another one.
I've got another one as well.
You say yours and then I'll say mine.
But on the basis that we might potentially have quite a lot of West Midlands viewers and the people that are running their own business, BCRS Business Loans.
Yeah, Jesus.
When we launched in Aldi, we had to quickly find £100,000. I went to my bank, I went to normal lenders, and they were all basically saying, mate, the door's over there, like, we're not even interested whatsoever. So I was panicking, like I had to pay all sorts out in like 2 weeks' time. So I was panicking, trying to find something. And I stumbled across BCRS, and I got put in touch with the loveliest person ever called Louise. And basically this company, instead of you just filling in like a credit form and then going yes or no, they'll meet you, they'll get you to like talk about your business, and they'll really buy into you as a story and you as a brand and where you're going to end up being.
Right.
So I came up going, like we need 100 grand, which is like
it's a lot of money.
Trying to raise. Like we've been in like losses because we're growing the business for years and years. Over the past 3 years, that's really why we were struggling to raise finance. And after about 2 weeks of just back and forth, we finally got the tick in the box of like, yeah, we're definitely going to support this. And really, really looked after me. And if genuinely, if it wasn't for BCRS, our products wouldn't be in Aldi. No way.
Brilliant. See, someone's going to listen to this that might potentially need that, and they might not know about it. So that's really good.
They have been great, haven't they?
Really good.
We're actually doing a talk for them, aren't we?
Yeah, doing a talk in September at the Monoloo. How do you say that? Monoloo in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
I've got two.
Go on.
Nicola from our manufacturer, our source manufacturer, because I have to say, every time there was an issue during the process, she pulled it out the bag.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And what she pulled out the bag in that amount of time, she never got stressed. She was like, yeah, we'll sort it. So she's been great. And I shout out Emma Greed for genuinely giving us a platform to change our life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which she has, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Do you know what? I've really enjoyed this chat.
Likewise.
I've really enjoyed this chat.
It's been good.
Yeah, really good. So thank you so much, both of you, obviously, for coming on. Local. Share Spin Justice far and wide. I'll share LumberJaxe far and wide. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Carl. If you have a topic that you want to discuss, get in touch at b31spinjustice@gmail.com or via Instagram @spinjustice.